Take a slow breath and let your shoulders soften just a little as you arrive here, because in a world that constantly asks for your attention, this moment is an invitation to feel safe, unhurried, and gently supported, exactly as you are. Living in a busy world can quietly pull your peace away without you even noticing, filling your days with noise, expectations, notifications, and responsibilities that never seem to fully end. And over time, this constant movement can leave you feeling tense, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained, even if nothing is obviously wrong. Protecting your peace is not about withdrawing from life or avoiding responsibilities, but about learning how to stay connected to yourself while the world continues to move around you. And this is a skill that can be practiced gently, one small moment at a time. Dr. Zenrik often speaks about peace as an inner state that grows when you feel emotionally safe within yourself, not when life becomes perfectly calm. And understanding this can immediately reduce pressure, because it reminds you that you do not have to wait for everything to slow down before you allow yourself to feel steady. One of the first steps in protecting your peace is noticing how busyness affects your body and mind, because stress often shows up physically before you become aware of it emotionally, through shallow breathing, tight muscles, restlessness, or fatigue. And these signals are not weaknesses, but messages asking for care. When you begin to respond to these signals with curiosity instead of frustration, your relationship with stress starts to change, and peace becomes something you can return to rather than something you lose. A busy world often encourages constant mental activity, planning, worrying, comparing, and replaying conversations. And this mental noise can quietly steal your sense of calm. So one gentle practice that truly helps is learning how to create moments of mental quiet throughout your day. This does not mean forcing your thoughts to stop, but allowing them to slow naturally by bringing your attention to something simple and grounding, like your breath, the feeling of your body, or the environment around you. Even brief moments of presence can interrupt the stress cycle and remind your nervous system that it is safe to pause. Protecting your peace also involves learning how to manage anxiety gently, especially when life feels unpredictable, because anxiety often grows from the need to control outcomes or anticipate every possible problem. Instead of trying to eliminate anxious thoughts, you can acknowledge them softly and redirect your focus to what is within your control in this moment, such as your breathing or the task directly in front of you. Dr. Zenrik often explains that anxiety calms when it feels heard and guided rather than resisted, and this compassionate approach can reduce inner tension over time. Emotional balance is another key part of protecting your peace, because unprocessed emotions can build up and create internal stress, even when everything looks fine on the outside. Allowing yourself to feel emotions without judging them or rushing to fix them creates emotional space and stability. And this acceptance helps emotions move through you naturally instead of becoming stuck. In a busy world, it is easy to ignore emotional needs, but regularly checking in with yourself and asking how you are feeling can strengthen your emotional awareness and resilience. Protecting your peace also means being mindful of what you allow into your mental and emotional space. Dr. Zenrik often reminds people that peace grows when you respect your limits, and honoring those limits teaches your mind and body that they do not have to stay on high alert. Sleep plays a vital role in emotional regulation and stress resilience, and protecting your peace includes creating conditions that support restful sleep, even in small ways, a calming transition between your day and night. It is also important to release pressure around sleep, because worrying about sleeping often increases tension. So focusing on relaxation rather than results can improve sleep quality over time. Protecting your peace is not about perfection or rigid routines, but about consistency and kindness toward yourself, especially on busy or challenging days. There will be moments when stress feels louder despite your efforts, and this does not mean you are failing. It simply means you are human, living in a demanding world. And on those days, returning to simple grounding practices and lowering expectations can help restore balance. It is always important to remember that if stress or anxiety begins to feel overwhelming or unmanageable, you can carry a sense of calm within you. And as that trust begins to grow, you may notice that your sense of peace feels less fragile and more like something steady you can return to, even when the world around you feels fast and demanding. Protecting your peace in a busy world often requires learning how to slow your inner pace, even when your outer responsibilities remain the same. Because much of daily stress comes not from what we do, but from how rushed and pressured we feel while doing it. One gentle way to support this inner slowing is by giving yourself permission to do one thing at a time, allowing your attention to rest fully on the present task rather than constantly jumping ahead. And this simple shift can reduce mental strain and restore a sense of calm focus. Dr. Zenrich often describes peace as the feeling that you are not being chased by your own thoughts. And cultivating this feeling begins with choosing presence over urgency whenever possible. Anxiety regulation also becomes more accessible when you learn to work with your breath as a steady anchor throughout the day. Because your breath naturally responds to stress and can also guide your body back toward calm. By slowing your exhale, breathing a little deeper, or pausing briefly between breaths, you send a message of safety to your nervous system. And over time, this becomes a natural response to tension rather than something you have to consciously remember. Emotional balance continues to strengthen when you develop a kinder relationship with your thoughts, especially in a busy world where comparison and self-criticism are common. Stressful thoughts often sound convincing when you are tired or overwhelmed, but noticing them without immediately believing or judging them can create emotional distance and relief. Dr. Zenrich gently encourages people to observe their thoughts as passing experiences rather than absolute truths. And this perspective can soften anxiety and restore mental clarity. Protecting your peace also means allowing yourself moments of rest without guilt, because constant productivity can quietly erode emotional well-being over time. Rest does not always mean stopping completely. It can be as simple as a quiet pause, a few deep breaths, or a brief moment of enjoyment that reminds you life is not only about effort. These moments of rest help replenish emotional energy and make it easier to respond calmly to challenges. Emotional balance is also supported by healthy self-expression, because holding feelings inside can increase inner tension, while allowing yourself to express emotions through conversation, writing, or creative outlets can release pressure and promote clarity. In a busy world, it can feel inconvenient to slow down and feel. Sleep remains a cornerstone of protecting your peace. Dr. Zenrich often reminds people that boundaries are not walls. They are signals of self-respect, and when you respect your own limits, you create conditions for peace to grow. In a busy world, it is easy to lose touch with what truly matters to you. So regularly reconnecting with your values and priorities can guide your choices and reduce unnecessary stress. When your actions align with what feels meaningful, even busy days can feel more balanced and purposeful. It is also important to remember that protecting your peace is an ongoing practice, not a destination, and there will be times when stress returns despite your efforts. On lucid days, offering yourself compassion and returning to simple grounding habits can prevent stress from overwhelming you. Reaching out for support from trusted people or qualified mental health professionals is always a wise and caring option when life feels too heavy to manage alone. As you continue on this path, Allow yourself to move gently and patiently, trusting that each small step you take strengthens your ability to remain calm and centered. And over time, you may find that even in the midst of a busy world, your peace feels more accessible, more stable, and more deeply rooted within you. And as that inner steadiness continues to settle, mind feels supported rather than threatened. And this internal support can be deeply calming. Protecting your peace also means allowing yourself to let go of what is not within your control, because a busy world constantly presents uncertainties, opinions, and demands that you cannot manage perfectly. Accepting this reality does not mean giving up, but rather choosing where to place your energy wisely. And this choice alone can reduce mental fatigue. Dr. Zenrik often encourages people to focus on what they can influence rather than what they can predict, because peace grows when attention is grounded in the present rather than lost in imagined futures. Sleep continues to support all aspects of peace and resilience, and approaching sleep as a time of safety and restoration rather than another task can make a meaningful difference, allowing your body to unwind gradually, releasing the day without replaying it. And offering yourself permission to rest helps your nervous system reset and prepares you for the next day with greater clarity. Protecting your peace is also supported by moments of connection, because feeling understood and supported by others can ease emotional burdens and remind you that you are not alone. Whether through gentle conversation, shared silence, or simply knowing support is available, connection can soften stress and restore emotional balance. At the same time, honoring your need for solitude when required is equally important, because peace grows when you respect both connection and space. Dr. Zenrik often speaks about balance as a dynamic process, one that shifts from day to day, and learning to listen to these shifts helps you respond to your needs more effectively. As life continues to move quickly, remind yourself that it is okay to slow down internally, to breathe deeply, and to choose calm even when others rush. If stress or anxiety ever feels overwhelming or begins to interfere with daily life, seeking support from a qualified mental health professional is an important and caring step, and guidance can help you navigate challenges with greater confidence and ease. As this narration gently comes to a close, notice any sense of grounding or calm that may be present, even if it feels subtle, because these moments matter and reflect your capacity for peace. Carry this awareness forward with you, knowing that protecting your peace is an ongoing act of self-respect and care, and that with each gentle choice, you strengthen your ability to remain centered, present, and emotionally balanced in a busy world. Take a quiet moment now to appreciate yourself for choosing to slow down and listen, because this choice reflects strength, awareness, and care for your well-being. No matter how busy life becomes, remember that your peace is not something fragile that the world can easily take from you. It is something you can nurture from within through kindness, presence, and small intentional actions each day. You are allowed to protect your energy, to rest without guilt, and to move through life at a pace that supports your emotional health. Trust that even gentle steps create meaningful change, and that with patience and self-compassion, calm can become a familiar companion, rather than a rare escape. Carry this sense of inner safety with you, knowing that you are capable of meeting life with steadiness, resilience, and quiet confidence, and that protecting your peace is one of the most loving commitments you can make to yourself.